Hello?
Hello.
Why, hello.
How's it going, everybody?
Howdy.
Welcome, welcome.
I haven't been on Twitch much recently. Oh, okay, cool. I had to figure out how to pop out chat.
Uh-oh.
Let me hop out of what I'm doing. I'm almost in. I'm sorry about the late start, boys. I'm terrible.
That's not
Oh,
good.
did I actually kick myself out of Roll20? Oh, shit.
You did, yes.
Mhm.
Hey, wait, let me change the picture.
Hey, Ryan, how you feeling after last night's late game sesh?
I was definitely pretty tired today.
Were ya?
But I got up like early. Like I didn't have trouble getting up. It was just like around like noon. I was real tired. But
Yeah.
I just had some coffee and I'm doing good now.
Yeah, I was good. I like woke up at 9, and I'm like, that's roughly 7 hours of sleep. So that's stellar. But I'm feeling it a little bit right now. I'm not gonna lie.
You're just sleepy boy.
Oh, Murph, that's me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
No, I
Welcome to
do
page.
remember that.
Good.
Oh, no, I'll talk to y'all later about it. It's all good.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey,
My
John,
Yes.
I forgive you
For
No.
for not saying what it was right now because I really want to know.
thank you for forgiving me. So, Steve, I clicked on your character's profile so many times in Roll20 that now when I click Roll20, it gives me a prompt to look at your character.
Thanks. I think that's that's like a compliment, right? I should take that as a
think it is.
compliment.
I hope so.
Okay. All right.
I think it's just because I was trying to make sure that you'd have the equipment and stuff that you needed to do, And like I want to know what your abilities were. Not so much like your score points, but like what could you do so that
Yeah.
if something, because I was really scared when you ran into that lair last night and I was like, dude, is he gonna make it? You're
I
pretty
remember
tough.
that
I'm
time.
glad you had that armor too.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody just left
Yeah.
again.
It would be nice if somebody thought of armor, or let me use my armor for a slash.
Yeah, I've really wanted to punish you, Ryan.
Why?
You were immobilized on the ground, pinned by a blood-sucking like saliva,
I was pinned on the ground, damsel in distress, and you wanted to punish me. I see.
Yeah, I wanted you to suffer.
Hey, are you so mean to him?
You know what would have really punished you? Nipple clamps. That would do it.
Well, he's not facing a succubus, at least not last night, so there would be no nipple clamps.
No, on Ryan.
No,
In
like in
real
real life. I should like drive down to Salt Lake and pop on
I
some
mean,
clamps.
Wow, doxing,
That's what you're
bro.
into.
Doxing. Hey, everybody, his address is, let me look it up real quick. Actually, I don't remember your address. I remember how to get there.
we're in Salt Lake City, Ohio.
Yes, Salt Lake City, Ohio.
You could have said Salt Lake City, India. It's in Calcutta. Doing something new today.
No, we couldn't be in India, or else we'd be in quarantine.
So I see that Sir Pyro's in chat right now. Is he still gonna do our recap?
Oh, no, don't foam at me.
That is a
What?
That's
That's
a
a
great
great question.
Yeah. Hey, Pyro, you doing our recap?
furious typing.
Yes, furious typing in the background.
Edit that on post.
What's our plan on how late we're planning on running tonight, boys?
I'm fucking-
3 a.m.
That's not
3
gonna
a.m.
work for me. That's definitely not.
3
gonna work.
a.m.
I've
We'll
got.
see.
It's about
I've
when
got
I
no.
went
I've
to
got a
bed.
13-hour day
So
tomorrow.
far, it's the majority is 3 a.m.
Dude, wait,
Democracy.
Arlo
wait,
might just
over
have
your
to go
limb.
make camp by himself for a private meditative moment, you know?
Yes.
Have you ever had
Kill more
coffee?
children.
Have you ever heard of
Coffee. So, even if you drink enough coffee, there comes a point when you drive for like fucking 10 hours, you're just not okay.
I'm not sure. Hell fucking yeah, 3 a.m. start, that's what I'm talking about. Yep.
I had a delivery from UPS over the weekend. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel fine.
Okay.
Okay. So does anybody want to take up the recap for this week?
I can't remember
Patrick does.
shit.
Huh?
Patrick is all over that recap.
Is he?
That's true, Patrick. You wait. Did you listen or watch?
I don't think you watched the last
session?
episode.
Yeah.
Nobody's watched
Yes, I
it.
did.
Really?
I am not confident enough to do a recap because I watched it while I was working.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay.
That's fair.
Then
Steve will get the insight. Steve remembers.
yes, I remember.
No confidence whatsoever.
So, the session started out with the party split. Neff and Arlo were in pursuit of the Wood Elves who had previously attacked the village. Timothy and Salazar were in pursuit.
You immediately got that backwards.
Oh,
I
wait,
was-
you're right, I did. Timothy and Neff.
Ooh!
I have this written down backwards. Timothy and Neff were in pursuit of Arlo and Salazar, and you guys went through a series of skill checks to try to either catch up to the Wood Elves ahead of you, or for Neff and for Timothy to catch up to Salazar and Arlo. Eventually, Timothy and Neff managed to catch up to Salazar and Arlo. You guys had a confrontation, and in that confrontation, you basically came to an agreement, a begrudging agreement between each other, with each trying to see the other's way. Although, to be fair, Arlo's way was not
Superior.
good.
A bit excessive. Superior.
But the confrontation did not end in a fight or bloodshed of any kind, and the group decided to reconvene and take up again the pursuit of the Wood Elf party. After overall this taking several days, you guys managed to catch up to them in a way. You are all ambushed by several Wood Elves. And the leader of which came to talk to you by the name of Delwyn. He recounted his harrowing experiences with first a seeming malady that was taking hold of the villages nearby. They seem to attack them out of seemingly nowhere, dragging many of the Wood Elves off into the night. This would happen at every village that they encountered until eventually they decided to make a run for it. But at this point, they were then hunted by something large and something that was stalking them relentlessly, and continued to pick off members of the Wood Elf party until they feel like they had managed to outpace it. But even then, members of the party were wandering off into the night, seemingly after having isolated themselves and acting strange, very much distancing themselves in every way that they could, with some muttering the word home. With this, your party decided to join up with this Wood Elf party as they were to return home to their home, their tribe, their tribal encampment. where they believed that they could seek further help, not only taking on the beast that was likely still pursuing them, but also in trying to find out what this malady may be, as many in the Wood Elf party have a sort of inkling, a gut feeling that there is something in their history that this malady came from. It seems to be almost familiar to their past. And as you guys made your way to the camp, you found that it was in fact deserted. Camp that certainly had hundreds, if not thousands, of wood elves within this tribe was completely deserted. And from there, you made your way further in. And as you did, you heard a noise behind you. And as the party turned around, that is where we ended our session.
Oh,
Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
I think that
this is
describes it
what I
pretty well.
wrote.
I'm aware, no.
This is what I wrote from last session.
Was it you running into a tree multiple times?
No, I didn't write
Oh.
that down. I wrote,
I forgot to write
Mom
that
and
down.
Dad made up. We tracked down elves, found out they were being hunted by some sort of monster. Village is acting strange. Delwyn is leader of remaining elves. Found Delwyn's village ransacked. That's what I wrote.
Good summary. What was that?
Short, simple, to the point, as you would expect from
Nice.
this character, Salazar.
Inspiration! Too bad I already have it, so you don't have to give it to me this time.
You are
Just
just
shut up.
that good.
Let's get going.
All right, and with that, we'll return back to the previous scene. And here, you guys turn around to see somebody or something emerging from the collapsed canvas tent from behind. And from there, you see what looks to be a tiefling man step up. Get up. His get up is strange to say the least. He is covered in...
All right.
Go ahead.
Let me take it from here. Okay, so you see the canvas tent push.
Fuck the DM, right?
Out steps this medium height figure with a long black trench coat is the first thing that you see, but it's made entirely of leather and it's got some studs, almost like a 2004 punk kid.
Leather daddy? What
String
the hell?
about it. No. Over the trench coat, you see two chains going from shoulder to hip, crossing each other to make an X in the middle on the front and the back. And you see a large sash draped across the chest with different vials in it. You can recognize a couple of them as healing potions, but then you also have no idea what some of the others would mean or represent. You see a couple satchels across the belt that have what looks to be some medical supplies, but also you see mushrooms and fungus pouring out of one. You look up and you see a hooded, masked head with two thick goggles over the eyes. You look into the eyes and you see mostly gray, but with a little bit of lavender in them. And then a large hooked beak nose, and out of the tip of the nose you see what looks to be like mushrooms and moss growing out of it as well. On top there is a rather beaten, shaken bowler hat, and it just looks like there's a crown of mushrooms growing around the brim of it. You see my character kind of clears his breath and he's like, "Well, howdy, y'all. I reckon there's some elves around here."
Man!
Is this all this stuff gonna be on the test? Like, Jesus.
I see that there's a dwarf. Let me just switch back into common. I can't believe I'm running into people. I recognize some of you as wood elves, but yeah, what brings you all here?
What are you wearing?
Hold up. I have a very rich history in this. Ultimately, it saved my life, and so I have to progress like this. It's not just who I present myself, it's who I am. And, you see him break up a little bit, trying to compose himself, then a solid breath out.
Is it too late to switch DMs?
Wow.
I love you, buddy. Don't get mad at me. Please don't disappoint.
This is a little bit too fresh for me, and I can't go too deep into who makes me what I am right now, but I appreciate your concern. Yeah, like I said, what brings you here, and why is everyone so tattered?
Salazar is gonna turn to Timothy and go, Timbo, what's happening? I'm very confused.
I don't know yet.
Is this man a danger? I could gut him real quick.
I
Hold
appreciate
off
your
on
concern, but I'm a little bit more.
What? You weren't supposed to hear that.
You might want to
hurt
keep
me.
your voice below a loud roar if you don't want me to hear. But
That's his quiet voice, actually.
That is his quiet voice.
Oh, I feel sorry for you guys. How long has it been?
Too long.
Well, may your ears have peace, but I can assure you I'm a friend. I am a doctor. I was here for medicinal purposes. I spent a lot of my time in Ambar recently, but I have history with the Wood Elves, and there was something going on in the area, and so I had to come and check it out. I got here just 2 days ago and set up camp, and then it clearly didn't look like this, but things have changed.
So, would you mind explaining what happened then, if you were here for all the events?
Speaking in Elvish?
I guess I am
Yes.
speaking in Elvish.
He was speaking. The other guy was speaking in Elvish because he went, "Howdy, y'all." That's not
My
my
friend.
infernal language.
My friends, he was essentially asking what I've been doing here since. I'm sorry. Sir, you can speak to me in common. I am very fluent. But no, I was trying to get more intel, more information about what had happened. When I first got here, I set up my clinic here, which was this very wonderful tent, which is now very abysmal. But I heard that some people in the area could be inflicted with this disease, I want to say. So I came and checked it out, set up my tent, and when I got here, there were a couple of the inhabitants of this little village that were telling me that a person around the area was just acting very strange, isolating themselves, hearing this fellow mutter the word home, and yeah, it was scary. But ultimately, I decided that I need to start taking patients in and figuring out what was going on. I found 2 wood elf children who were starting to show some of the same symptoms. They were in isolation.
Is this anything you've been able to cure with anyone?
No. It's been 2 days. I wish I was that good. I have plenty of ability with nature, trust me, but I wish I could do something. No, but these 2 children were showing symptoms, and so I brought them into my care. And later that evening, the elders of the tribe, they convened on the center, and about an hour into their meeting, it seems to be about this whole disease, I want to say. I don't know. All hell broke loose, screaming, sounds and fighting breaking out. I quick got back to my tent, looked over the children because that was the number 1 priority at the moment, and we hid together while everything was going on outside. I fell asleep. Sorry, I fell asleep. I had them in my arms, and just waited it out as all chaos was breaking loose. The tent collapsed on us, and when I woke in the morning, they had both run off on their own and vanished. And yeah, it was just about this time that I heard your voices as you approached.
With that, I want to see if I can look on the ground and see if I can spot any footprints of children.
Dude, you beat me to it. I was about to say, while this was going on, I've been walking closer to the tent and wanted to do a survival check to see if I can find footprints.
Yeah, go ahead and do a survival check.
15. Oh, a 9, actually.
A 9,
I
okay.
got the 15.
But Timmy...
I got 15.
Timothy, you do see two sets of distinct tracks, both small. You can presume that they are from children, and they seem to lead towards the middle of the encampment.
I follow them to see where they lead, saying, I think I found the kids.
As you go a little further down the path, you see that the tracks seem to be heading towards what Delwyn was referring to as the center, which you can infer is the center of the encampment. I know. It seems to be going towards a single large tree at the very center of the encampment. You can see several structures dotting the branches and a staircase winding its way around and making stops at each structure. And with the 15, I'll say that you can also see, as you walk further down the path a little bit, that there are more tracks, all seeming to head towards the tree.
All right, I'm gonna follow Timothy wherever he's going on this.
After Arlo,
I'm gonna shout after them, real quick. I just gave you my whole story, and you walk off like that. Where are you boys going?
They do that.
Okay. Well, I wish them best of luck.
Your assistance is appreciated. You may want to come and take a look at this. This may be something important.
Okay, I hurry over beside them.
Okay, I'm gonna go really quickly talk to Salazar here. I wouldn't trust him if I were you. Being the only one alive here, that seems a bit suspicious to me. But also keep your voice down, please. Don't shout out what I just told you.
I will leave. I will only resort to grunts and moans. Mm-hmm.
That might be preferable. Please do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the party is all heading towards the lone tree at the center of the village.
I've stopped about 30 feet or so from the tree and just kind of looking up at it.
Okay, here you can see that just from the tracks that there are now hundreds of them, and they're all leading up the staircase, winding its way around the tree. And at the first stop, the first building is the largest. It's a large, I would say like 100 by 100 foot structure, where you can see the muddy footprints all moving up the stairs.
Okay.
After that, there are two other structures above it, each growing smaller as they go further up the tree.
I've got a question. I assume I've caught up to them, and I'm looking at the same thing now.
Yes.
Is there any sign of, like, any damage that looks like it'd be from a beast, assuming how larger than human-sized beast? Is there anything that I can see besides just what appears to be humanoid tracks?
All you do see that's obvious to you is just humanoid tracks.
Okay.
Did Delwyn follow us, Steve?
Yes, Delwyn did follow you, as well as the other four wood elves in his party. They are right behind you.
Okay. I'd like to. I'm gonna move back and stand with them, as
Not
opposed to directly following Timothy.
not taking my eyes off the tree, I say, "Hey, Delwyn, what importance is this tree here?"
Well, this was what I was referring to as before. It's sorry, it's the center, and I guess it looks like a lot of people were here recently, but maybe they were called here. I don't know, but here is where I was hoping to find some answers. Hopefully, the elders. This is where they hold their council up in the up at the top there, with a meeting hall at the bottom, and right in between, you can see that is our library where we keep all of our shared knowledge.
I'm gonna. While he says that, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and walk into the library.
Okay, you walk up to the second tier structure.
I will follow.
Yes, we know your great love of books.
Mm-hmm. I must find myself another book. I already read the last one. It's quite a read.
As the two of you walk up the stairs, as you pass the first structure, you notice that the stairs become noticeably cleaner as you continue walking up.
Okay.
These stairs are clean.
And here in and here in the second structure, you open up the doors and you see a long hallway filled with tomes on either side and little aisles breaking off at each entrance. It goes down for about roughly 60 feet.
So it's a pretty sizable library.
Yes.
Okay. Does there look like there's any kind of classification of like what books would be what? Or is it just like a lot of the exact same book on the endless shelves, you know?
It's certainly not the exact same book. There are various. So go ahead.
I'm gonna look for the largest book I can see
Okay.
and go attempt to try to pretend to read it.
Okay. Give me an investigation check, Salazar.
Of course. Yes.
A 10.
Sweet.
Okay. You find a big book. Whether it is the biggest book in this library, who can tell? But it's definitely like the size of your torso, which is considerable.
Arlo! Look what I found.
I was gonna say I want to walk over and read the title of the book to see what he's actually found.
Clearly, this is a clue. Look how big it is.
You read the title and it says Lost Secrets of Herbs, Medicines, and Homeopathy.
Homeopathy?
Mm-hmm.
You want to explain to me what that is in real life?
Homeopathy music?
No, is it
Homeopathic
like-
medicines?
Oh, okay, thank
It's
you.
natural
Abby.
medicines. You're welcome. That can be helpful sometimes when I'm not fucking with you guys.
Thank you.
Are all the books in Elvish?
Yes.
Damn it.
Wait, Quills, can you read out? You can't even fucking read.
I didn't say I could read Elvish.
Yeah, he said he's gonna try to. Hold on. I want to head up to a library myself.
All right.
Is it safe to say that a lot of the party has moved up to the library, or is it just
Yes.
the three of us?
Well, I have a specific reason.
I'm gonna.
I need to go
follow
talk
the
to.
library.
I'm gonna go talk to my main man Arlo.
All right. Before you guys all head up, Delwyn turns to the other four wood elves and says to them, "I want you to guard the entrance here. If anything comes close, make sure to let us know." And he gives a nod at the only woman wood elf within the party, and she nods back. And he goes to join you up at the library.
Oh my god, you
Okay.
can wield a book as a weapon. Thanks, Pyro.
I guess before I do what I want to do, what were you gonna do, Rafi?
Oh, Arlo, if I may make a request of you, would you mind finding a book here of old legends around these parts, if there's any at all?
Well, I'll be honest, that's exactly what I wanted to find as well.
I'm
Hey,
surprised you could
Delwyn.
think that far.
I shoot him a very nasty look. Delwyn, you wouldn't happen to know where we could find a book of the Lore Keeper, would you?
Well, I don't know off the top of my head, I'm afraid. We could spend some time here just to comb through the various tomes and scrolls that we have, but that could take hours or even days.
Well, I'll be honest, we need to know what we're doing. We need to know. You and I have both expressed the fact that this creature, whatever it is tied to our past. And while we don't have the Lore Keeper himself here, we have his writing. And that might hold the secret of what we face. But I'm also very concerned for the many footprints, for the lost villagers, and to see if that... I actually don't think I ever caught your name.
Really?
Other tiefling, not you.
Oh, me?
Maybe not the tiefling, he's covered in a mask.
I thought we were going to have a little bit more of an introduction, but you guys just kind of wandered off. Formally, my name is Ren Agar, but you can just call me Ren.
Ren.
I don't trust you!
Okay. I feel like that's kind of a harsh thing to say to somebody at first meeting.
Well,
Can you blame me? You just came out of a tent telling us that a bunch of children are away and everyone... And you want me just to believe that?
To be fair, I barely believe it myself. It's insane.
This
This is not what I was expecting of this trip, but I think that we're doing the responsible thing right now and trying to get to the bottom of it. And while you may not trust me, I hope to build your trust, and I also hope that we can work together in this meantime and try and figure out something.
I'm gonna keep an eye on you. Salazar, keep an eye on him. Do what you're good at. Keep doing that. Keep doing that.
I have to say I'm a little bit concerned with the way this man is looking at me.
He looks at everybody like that.
I
Everyone's
am
mean.
glaring intensely at him.
It's a little bit saucy there, sir.
Saucy?
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to make Ryan roll a charisma check?
Why would he have to roll charisma? Isn't it you that needs to roll that?
Yeah, I was almost about to roll it to see if mushrooms was my thing, but we have pretty much fairly established that guards and men in authority are my thing.
He's got a mask. Roll it. I want you to roll it.
All right, I'll roll it.
Roll it.
I'll roll this.
Roll it.
Arlo's gonna stand back and really kind of drink in this person who stands in front of him, really drink in his vision.
What do I do?
Excellent
like
verbiage. Excellent. You just stand there and look pretty.
I roll charisma and you roll charisma.
Oh,
Jesus.
So I got a 1.
Oh my god!
And Ren got a 13, so...
Yeah. Evidently, men in masks are kind of my thing. Dark black leather, some studs, have given me a sexual awakening that I should have seen coming, but maybe was a little surprised.
Do we notice his awakening?
I see kind of a glazed over look in this wood elf's eye. I'm sorry, can you remind me your name?
Arlo Kopi.
Well, he hasn't
in
introduced
Arlo's
himself
eye.
yet. He hasn't introduced himself, so we might as well take this time to introduce each other, right?
And I take like a half step back, and you see me shift a little bit uncomfortably.
I just continue to stare.
I am also staring. Intensely.
Well, while we're here, gentlemen, and you're both very clearly intently watching me, I've introduced myself, but I would really appreciate it if I got to know you each a little bit more.
I've been kind of.
We all stand silently staring.
I've
Just
been.
glaring.
Please don't all rush to, say your name.
I've been kind of walking the library, kind of looking for anyone else who may have been in there. And as I come back from my just looking around, without taking my eyes off the shelves. I just say, Timothy.
Welcome, Timothy. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
While this is going on, Steve, I want to go and try and find that book.
Okay.
Can you give me your name first, at least, please, sir?
I did already. I said Arlo
that was
Gopi,
out of
remember? Yeah.
Okay.
He said it like weirdly as he was staring at it. I was like, "Hello, Colby."
I whisper it. And then I like do a little eyebrow dance, like just a tiny wiggle. And I walk down the aisle to go find a book.
Okay, then I'm gonna have Arlo and Timothy do an investigation check since Timothy also said that he was looking around. This will be, we'll say, no, we'll see. No,
No.
Yeah,
not
not
on
with the
investigation.
two.
No,
Not with the 2, no.
I was gonna say we'll say to find anything useful. We'll say this is a DC 15.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I can't read Elvish, but can I still roll for a book to see if something catches me?
Yeah, certainly. Everyone can roll investigation if they want to.
Please. God of Thunder. Yeah!
All right.
22. Wow.
Did you just pray to Thor?
Yeah, and
Okay,
Pretty
everyone.
something.
Most everyone in the party is scrambling to look around in the library to see if there is a book of lore that would be relevant to the malady or to what happened here in the village. And the only one who comes up with anything is, maybe unsurprisingly, Neff. And Neff, you don't necessarily find a book. What you find is the absence of one. You see in one of the shelves a prominent space with almost no dust where a book should have been, where all the surrounding area was had a nice sheen of dust on it. This is the only place that looks to have been disturbed recently.
Interesting. And our elf leader here is not super aware of the library. Is that to my recollection correct?
Delwyn, it appears directly behind you. That is
perfect.
correct.
He's instant transmission.
Does he like fucking ghost in? He's just like right
Yes.
there all of a sudden.
He's a wood elf ranger. I mean, ghosting is.
And so he just like appears behind me.
Yes. Yes, my horned friend. I
thought you said
ranger.
horny.
I did not
You're a
have the
sexual deviant.
I did not have the privilege of spending much time here. It was my duty to patrol the area outside of our village, or to guard, or to go on expeditions for trade. This took up the vast majority of my time. It was usually our scholars and our elders who came and went through these musty halls. And he kind of wrinkles his nose a little bit at that.
Hey, Steve, can I roll a stealth check to see if I can ghost behind Neff right now?
Yes, give me a stealth check, and it'll be against his passive perception.
I got a 15.
I got it 15.
Oh, what's your passive perception?
My passive is 15.
Oh, damn. Because I think I lose on that one, right?
You do.
Tiger's
All
the
right.
runner. Wait, I'm the defender, not the runner. Hold on.
Yeah, so,
So,
I basically just walk up and like, what do you got there, Neff? You knew I was there.
I was in the middle of a conversation. Don't sneak up behind me.
Ugh.
What else? There is a book here that is missing. This one doesn't know. I keep forgetting your name. I do apologize.
Delwyn.
it's Delwyn.
That one. Thank you. I'm bad with names. Most people, I just meet once and then they're done. Anyway, book is missing. We need to find a scholar. So hopefully there's one here. Is there any way you could track anything here? I don't really know how you people do it. People was very rude to say. You elves do it.
Are you asking if we can cast a tracking spell on this book that's missing that we have no
Not the
idea what it
book,
looks
for,
like?
for footsteps to see who's been here. Maybe we could find another of your kind who is a scholar and
No,
see where
I
they ran
actually-
off to.
I raised my eyebrows at that, and I want to look at the ground to see if I can see any footprints.
Okay. Give me a survival check.
That is a 22.
22. Okay.
Ooh.
That's
So-
a dirty 22, though.
If,
Doesn't matter.
there's no
I'm
other.
sorry, do you have a
22?
22-sided die?
I'm sorry, you're gonna have like a principle. I was like, if I get any.
Well, it's not like I got a nat 20 plus 2. It was an 18 plus 4.
Shut up. Just take it.
Let me complain more about my 22.
I mean, we can take a solid minute or two here to just complain about this 22. I
Yeah,
mean,
look at this 22 right here.
look at how dirty it is.
I personally am
right?
outraged.
Not even a blackjack. I mean, this broke the bank.
Well, as
I
I
could have
have...
at least gotten a 23.
Okay, well, in my defense, I just learned 6 minutes ago that I'm probably turned on by this thing. Okay, this dirty 20, this filthy dirty 22.
What?
This is probably my
What are
thing.
you talking
is
What are
about?
you talking about?
Leather, kink. Can I not say dirty? Is leather not dirty?
Wait, what is
Why are you the number 22?
I thought you were following
We're looking
tracks.
for tracks.
Those aren't my tracks. I wasn't in here.
Were you really
Why
for
are
really
you
good at not
sexually
telling us?
attracted?
I
to
was
the
not
tracks?
talking about my character. I hate all of you. Let's go ahead and just continue with what we're doing.
What is happening?
Oh, John's role.
So in real life.
Yes.
Sexually in real life.
Yes, it has transferred over.
Just
So with the 22,
Please keep going.
you notice, despite it, all of the dirt and dust that you've tracked in and displaced with all of you walking in here, Arlo, you still managed to find a distinct set of tracks just before this empty space on the bookshelf. And you can see that it goes back outside onto the staircase.
All right. I'm gonna take this time and put some tobacco in my pipe and light it, and be like, I'll be right back. And I'm gonna Sherlock Holmes strode out of there, smoking my pipe, following these tracks.
Is he okay?
I want to follow
What
after.
happened in the wilderness?
is he
I
ever
was very
okay?
intrigued by that whole display.